For people who don't know who I am, my name is Sasha Green. I'm a filmmaker and visual effects artist. I just want to talk about this topic, which is practical effects and visual effects. Which is better? When do you want to use one or the other? Before I start this video, I want to say that take it with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion. I'm not the best dude in the world doing visual effects and filmmaking. I'm just a dude like wanting to pursue it because I think it's fun and it's cool. And yeah, let's get into the first example. I feel like the most common thing you'll see when practical effects are being used is they're being used in scenes that have really, really dark lighting. So you're not even seeing that much in the first place because everything is so dark. So obviously I think if someone would want to choose to do a practical version of it and not do it with visual effects, that is a good example of when I think it would be okay. And like you can get away with it because you're not even seeing much of it anyways. So I feel like with the new Alien movie that just came out, obviously I think it's appropriate to bring that into the mix of this conversation because I have heard about how much they did practically for that movie. I was curious to see some behind the scenes stuff. So because I haven't seen the movie, I don't know if they kept a lot of the practical stuff that they filmed in the movie or not, or if they just took it over with visual effects. But let's look at it real quick. If we're gonna create something that isn't real, why are we gonna try to do that in real life practically? Like, why not just do it all in CG? I don't know, dude. Like, does that work for you guys? I don't know, it just looks too animatronic. Like, okay, so that's cool, but I just don't understand, like, are people ignoring the fact that it just kind of looks super robotic? I mean, it looks like a robot. The movement of it looks like a robot. And this is kind of where it gets a little frustrating for me because, like, why not just do it in visual effects? I don't understand the amount of time and work it takes to freaking make one of these. I don't even know how much work that would be, or like I don't even know how hard that is to make in real life. I just can't imagine it's easy to just build one of those things. You know, I feel like it's just easier to do it in CG. I feel like it's a very different kind of conversation if we're talking about doing practical effects for creatures or for not creatures, you know. Like, I just feel like if there's an idea to try and do a creature practically, it's very hard. I just feel like you can't get it to be that realistic if you're gonna do a creature practically. So they have this whole like animatronic xenomorph creature that they built for real, but in my opinion, I don't know, like, that doesn't work for me. Does it work for you guys? I don't know. It just feels too much like a robot. Like, the movement of it is so animatronic that it just takes me out. If I saw this movie and I saw that they used the actual animatronic model of the xenomorph in it and it looked like that, I'd be disappointed because it's like, I think people forget about how much the anatomy of a creature drives its way of moving. You know, like we as humans move a very specific way because we have human anatomy. So we are gonna move like humans. We're not gonna move like gorillas, or we're not gonna move like a tiger because our anatomy and our structure is just different. I think involving robotics is just one of those things that is really hard to get away with because it's so robotic. Like, it's a robot. It's not a real organic thing. So it's not going to be able to move like an organic creature. Like, robotic stuff just looks robotic. Like, I haven't seen a robotic thing yet that has convinced me, like, oh, that doesn't look like a robotic movement. There's just so many complicated things involved that it just doesn't make sense for it to be practical. I don't know. All right, so let's look at this example. This is from A Quiet Place 2, and this is a scene where we have our character walking into this train, and when I saw this in the movie, I was like, there's no way that they let this in the movie. Okay, so we got some dead people on the train here. Got a dead body on the floor. Sick shot. Works. And then what is that, dude? Dude, you can't look at this and tell me, hey, that's kind of sick. That works. I'm sorry, but to me, that looks like someone took a Halloween decoration, put it on the ground, and they were like, okay, I think this is good. I don't understand why they had to go and do it this way when they could have just easily had someone lie on the floor. Again, I don't know what the complications were for this day of shooting or what the scheduling was like, but I just feel like, would it really been that hard just to get someone to lie on the floor that was a real person and not like a fake decoration dummy thing? Like, I don't know, dude. I mean, it's just weird how like these kinds of movies, they have millions of dollars involved and they still have scenes like this. Like in my head, it seems like that could have been like an easy problem to solve. But again, I don't know what the situation or experience was when they were actually filming the scene, you know, due to like scheduling, timing, I don't know. But I'm just like, bro, come on, that's kind of lame. Definitely will take you out of it. Took me out of it for sure. There's literally no way that you could do this practical. Do you see this shot right here? Could you imagine if they went the practical route to do this scene? This scene would be so different. Honestly, would not be that good. And they probably couldn't do a lot of what they're doing in this scene right now. Look at that shot. Look at that shot, dude. Like, there's no way you can do that practically. And I feel like if we're at this point where it's like looking that good and we're able to make it look that realistic, why not just embrace it? Why not, dude? Like, there should be no shame in taking the advantage of using the technology that we've been developing over time for so long to then get to this point. Like, it just doesn't make sense for me to be like, no, let's do it the old way. Like, I don't know. I say embrace the new way. It works and it looks so good. Like, you can't look at this and be like, yeah, that looks shitty. That's not good. That looks fake. Bruh. That looks real. Like, I don't know why would we not want to do more of this? This is so good. You know what I'm saying? Like, going back to the behind the scenes of the new Alien movie that just came out that had a lot of pride in using practical effects, just seems silly, dude. Like, I don't know, like you look at this and it's like, cool, you got a sick animatronic thing that looks really cool. It's impressive looking, but it's not, does it look real? No. You can't look at that and be like, yeah, that's so realistic. Why do it that way when we just showed an example of it being done so well digitally? I don't know, dude. Like, doesn't that seem a little silly to you? I don't know. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I'm really curious to know what other people think. I feel like if we were going to make another Planet of the Apes movie and have it all be practical, or have a lot of it be practical, I just don't think it would work on the same level that it's working now with it all being digital with the new movies. Like, if we tried to go back and do it the old way, I just think it would look silly. Like, it just is silly. It's not realistic at all. It looks like people with makeup on or prosthetics. Like, and I feel like the whole goal when making a movie is you want to try to make it as immersive as possible. So you as the viewer, as the audience, are so sucked into this movie that you forget that you're even watching a movie. And I feel like when we have moments in movies where they're using practical effects, it falls short sometimes. And it's just a shame, because it's like, it doesn't need to be that way. And I don't know why there is shame in having visual effects involved, because I think it's such a brilliant tool that we've been able to come up with. And it just doesn't really make sense to not use it. Like, why not just embrace it? I think when you mix visual effects and practical effects together, I feel like that's just like the best way to do it. You know what I mean? In the end, none of this is real. It's all acting. It's a movie. So why not just do it digitally? It ain't that deep. If it looks good, it looks good. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what you thought about it. I am really excited to make more content in the future. I'm thinking about doing some vlogs. I don't really know how to end this video, so yeah, peace out.